Welcome to the Hall of Shame, where the only thing thinner than the blue line is the ice these cops are skating on. From Daniel Holtzclaw's traffic stop tyranny to Tyler Moody's contraband capers, we're gonna tell you the tales of law enforcers who enforce their way right into a jail cell. Daniel Holtzclaw's series of offenses. Let's rewind the tape to June 18, 2014, in Oklahoma City, where our Officer of the Year nominee, Daniel Holtzclaw, decided to add a twist to the classic traffic stop. Instead of serving and protecting, Danny Boy was prowling and preying. But little did he know, his badge wouldn't shield him from the long arm of the law. On that fateful night, Daniel, in his infinite wisdom, thought he could turn his patrol car into a den of iniquity. He flagged down a woman, not with a ticket book but with a playbook straight out of a criminal's handbook. The woman, whose dignity he tried to tarnish, would soon be the siren that heralded his doom. Fast forward to the interrogation room, where our protagonist sits, sweating like he's in a sauna with the heat cranked up.
So we have no misunderstanding because, and maybe I didn't key in on some things. I want you turn in your activity card, walk me through it all again.
Turn in my activity card, I leave out of station, turn off my computer, done for the night, head left to go westbound on 50th from Prospect. About a block down, I see a Grand Prix in the outside lane. I was in the inside lane. Directly in front of me, car swerved. At that time, I kind of fall behind of it. Lincoln, I didn't want to light it up at the stop sign, so I waited till it go forward and just lit it up just to the west. And then that's when I made a traffic stop.
The detectives, armed with just the facts and a cup of lukewarm coffee, listened to Daniel's tale of woe. He's jittery, fumbling over his words like a clumsy magician dropping his cards.
CSI is processing your car right now.
Right.
And when we stepped out, they found some pubic hairs right in here. Could they be yours?
No, that's not. I didn't pull my. I didn't do anything right there.
Did she?
No.
But do you think they could be?
No, it's not. No. Nothing on mine.
Your pubes couldn't be?
No.
Right there?
No.
You seemed a little extra worried whenever you talked about seeing her boobies. You sure she just didn't flash you?
I can't. She did not flash. I don't want to say I can't recall, but I'm pretty positive she didn't flash.
I see a pair of titties.
She went like this, but nothing as far as I'm going like crazy looking.
Lifting the shirt.
No.
I made a stop, and things just got out of hand. He mumbles, avoiding eye contact like it's his ex at a party.
This whole situation and
it's kind of scary.
It is scary, and I don't want my rep to be. Everything's about in law enforcement. I'm 3 years on. I know that, but everything's about your rep.
Absolutely.
And I don't want this to fall on my rep.
But here comes the grand finale, the DNA evidence. Oh, it was like watching a game show where the contestant realizes they just lost the $1 million question. Those pubic hairs in your car, Danny, talk to us about those. The detective asks, as casual as if discussing the weather. Daniel's face? A picture of pure horror, as if he's just seen a ghost. Or worse, his career and freedom evaporating before his eyes. The verdict? Guilty as charged. The sentence? 263 years. The courtroom gasped, Daniel sobbed, and the gavel came down like thunder. The community? They breathed a collective sigh of relief, knowing that the only beat Daniel would be walking was the one between his bunk and the prison chow line. Hey Larry, what do you say?
In the eyes of the law, DNA is the ultimate whistleblower. It doesn't fib, forget, or forgive. It's the silent witness that always speaks the truth. So it is a reminder that when you choose to betray the badge, you're not just facing jail time, you're becoming a lifetime resident of the house that justice built.
Jalen Fleer snapshots of guilt. Now moving towards the second case. In laid-back city of San Diego, Officer Jalen Fleer's life was about to take a turn for the dramatic, and not the kind he'd hoped for when he donned his shiny badge. It all started with a tip-off in April 2020, whispering about Fleer's less than commendable extracurricular activities with a minor. Cue the investigation music.
So, I know that I have a lot to delve into, but I really want to get to know you first, if you don't mind.
Definitely.
Okay. So, I'm going to lean back and get comfortable, just because... Are you comfortable? Do you want to take off your duty belt?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about your upbringing?
Yeah, so I will ask what this is about.
Yeah, so we're looking into some allegations that were made. We're kind of, it started with a Crime Stopper report, so we're just kind of going from there. We did receive a picture that, you know, when we looked into it, it looks similar to you, so I don't know if you can take a look at the picture and just tell me if you've seen this picture before. Oh, I have like 15 million things here. Okay.
As the San Diego Police Department dug deeper, they unearthed a photo that was about to shatter Fleer's cool cop facade. Enter the interrogation room, a setting more suited for a noir film than the sunny beaches outside. There sat Jalen, his uniform suddenly feeling a tad too tight, as the detective slid a photo across the table, a snapshot that would soon snap shut his career. Jalen's eyes darted to the image, and you could almost hear the cogs turning in his head, desperately trying to concoct a story that would hold water.
I don't know, 20?
20? Okay, cool. That makes it very easy. So as far as like the picture, so this photo came up in connection with some allegations about you communicating with a younger female on Snapchat.
Okay. Can I ask, is this something I should have lawyers on?
But alas, his poker face was as convincing as a toddler denying they ate the cookie, crumbs and all. That's definitely me, he admitted, the words hanging in the air like a bad smell. The detectives, sensing the kill, leaned in, their questions sharp as knives, slicing through Jalen's defenses like butter. The once confident officer began to sway in his chair, his answers shrinking to monosyllables, his bravado deflating faster than a punctured balloon at a birthday party. And as the walls closed in, Jalen, with the foresight of a man walking into a storm with an umbrella.
So, you know, this, like I said, this photo was sent to this person, so they were in possession of it, and we can't find any connection or reason why this photo would end up with this particular person if it wasn't shared by someone you may know or yourself.
I agree, yeah. My wife would have done it, so I don't know why she would share that. So.
Well, along with the photo came some additional information about your personal life.
Okay.
And based on some of the information you shared with me today, it seems to add up.
Asked for a lawyer. But the law, much like the house in a game of blackjack, always wins. The evidence piled up like a mountain against Fleer, and with the grace of a fallen hero in a Greek tragedy, he turned himself in. The charges read like a menu from the worst diner you could imagine. 20 felonies, including engaging in lewd acts with children under 14, pandering children under 16, and engaging in with a child under 16. The gavel fell, and Fleer's fate was sealed. 12 years behind bars, where the only snaps he'd hear would be the snapping of a cell door shut. Now where's my legal guy, Larry? Hey, Larry.
I'm here, bud. So, in the eyes of Lady Justice, those who wear the badge must uphold the law, not break it. Engaging with minors? That's a one-way ticket to a cell block serenade, courtesy of the state penitentiary. So the moral is when you play games with the law, you're bound to lose more than just your freedom. You lose your very soul.
Stephanie Lazarus, the past never forgets. In corridors of the Los Angeles Police Department, Detective Stephanie Lazarus was known for cracking cases, not being the centerpiece of one. Yet, the past, like a dog with a bone, dug up a 1986 cold case that had Lazarus's DNA all over it. The plot thickens, and so does the irony. The case was as cold as a freezer aisle, with the murder of Sherry Rasmussen remaining unsolved for decades.
You guys friends? Close friends?
Yeah, we're very close friends. I mean, what's this all about?
It's a case we're working on. It involves John, and in there's notes and stuff that he knew you and stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, we were good friends. Lived in the dorms for 2 years.
Was there ever any relationship or anything that developed between you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we dated. You know, I mean, what's this all about?
Well, it's relating to his wife.
But science, like a relentless detective, never sleeps. DNA evidence, the silent witness, pointed its unyielding finger at Lazarus.
And you're right.
I mean, if you guys are claiming that I'm a suspect, then, you know, I got a problem with, you know, with that.
Okay.
Okay? So, you know, if you're doing this as an interrogation, you're saying, hey, I'm a suspect. Well, now I got a problem with, you know, now you're accusing me of this? Is that what you're saying?
The detectives played their part, luring her with the pretense of needing her seasoned insight on a case. Little did she know she was the case. As Lazarus sat there, Her confidence as solid as the badge she wore, the detectives began to weave a web of questions, each thread pulling her deeper into the narrative of her past.
Obviously, you know about all the DNA stuff and things of the nature that, gets done on cases nowadays. If we asked you for a DNA swab, would you be willing to give us one?
Maybe. Because now I'm thinking I probably need to talk to a lawyer.
When they brought up the victim's husband, whom Lazarus had once dated, you could almost hear the screeching of tires as her mind raced. The moment the DNA evidence was mentioned, it was as if a switch flipped. Lazarus's facade crumbled like a cookie in milk, her defense mechanisms kicking in with the ferocity of a cornered animal. But the truth, much like the house in Vegas, always wins.
Arduous trial, a decision was made by the jury.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Stephanie Eileen Lazarus, guilty of the crime of murder of Sherry Rasmussen. We further find the murder was of the first degree.
Lazarus was sentenced to 27 years in the shadowy confines of a prison cell. As for compensation, the victim's family received the bittersweet currency of justice. But no amount of money can ever fill the void left by a loved one. Now time for the expert opinion.
DNA, the silent accuser in the courtroom. In Lazarus's case, it turned a cold case into a conviction, proving that even after decades, justice has a long memory. This gives us that the past may forget, but it never forgives. And in the end, the truth, much like cream, always rises to the top.
Tyler Moody, the contraband conundrum. Moving towards another case, which is about Tyler Moody. Tyler Moody was a king among men, a correctional officer who walked the line between law and disorder. That is until the day his kingdom crumbled like a stale cookie in the hands of a clumsy cafeteria worker. It all began with a discovery that would make Sherlock Holmes drop his pipe in astonishment. A mobile phone and charger, nestled under the not-so-watchful eye of an inmate. The source of this contraband? None other than our protagonist, Tyler.
Have you offered your resignation or not?
I can keep my job, and no.
Well, you can't keep your job, okay?
Who had been playing Santa Claus with electronics. When confronted, Tyler spilled the beans with the ease of a gossiping teenager, fully expecting a mere slap on the wrist. But instead of a slap, he got a full-on cinematic plot twist.
Of every citizen that we have the privilege to serve, and you've betrayed the trust of the brave and selfless men and women that you've worked alongside for nearly 3 years. So as of this moment, you're under arrest for bringing a prohibited item, a cell phone, into a correctional facility. That's a third-degree felony.
He was arrested and charged with a third-degree felony. The kind of charge that turns a resume from impressive to distressing. The shock that crossed his face could have powered the prison's lights for a week. Tyler, who had once held the keys to freedom, was now shackled by his own misdeeds, sentenced to a year in the iron embrace of the very institution he once patrolled. As he was escorted to his new office, one could almost hear the universe chuckling at the irony. The guard had become the guarded, the watcher now watched. His new uniform? An orange jumpsuit that didn't quite have the same authoritative appeal as his old badge and belt. Let's listen to what our law guy says.
In the eyes of the law, providing contraband to inmates is no joke. It's a third-degree felony, punishable by up to 5 years in the clink. Tyler's 1-year sentence is a reminder that when you make a cell phone call, you might just end up in one. Tyler Moody's story, now whispered in the shadows of the cell blocks, serves as a cautionary tale to all who wear the badge. Uphold the law, or you might just end up living within the very walls you once guarded.